Hi everyone, this is James from James's IELTS Cafe. Welcome back. Today's lesson is going to be about the IELTS writing part 2 and specifically planning. Planning is very much connected to my previous video, which was on unpacking the essay question, and we started looking at the approach verb. So I highly recommend you go and look at the previous video and then watch this video. Planning. Why is planning important? Well, it's a bit like an architect. He designs and he starts planning the house and then sends out the builders and they start building the house. So without that architect and his plan, that house wouldn't be very good. And it's like your essay. Without planning for that essay, without that plan, that essay wouldn't be so good. So planning's really important. I tell my students so often, plan, you must plan. It's like hitting my head against a brick wall. And what that means is I tell them loads and loads of times and they don't listen, and it can be really difficult. So please, you must plan. Another reason why you must plan is part of the marking criteria.
The marking criteria is what the examiners are looking for when they mark your essay. The marking criteria is what the examiners are looking for when they mark your essay.
And if you look at task achievement, that is 25% of your score. That's 25%. And in the task achievement, it looks at areas like that you've answered all aspects, all parts of, addressed all parts of the question and the task. And planning, that's a big part of that, and that's going to help. Also, there's also in the marking criteria, you've got cohesion and coherence, and that's again 25% of your marks. And that looks at sort of areas like looking at the logical progression of your whole essay. Again, planning is going to help with that. I want you now to go and practice planning. Let's go.
So let's look at this essay title. I'll read it out to you. Discipline is an ever-increasing problem in modern schools. Some people think that discipline should be the responsibility of the teachers, while others think that this is the role of the parents. Discuss both sides and give your opinion. Let's look at a key word in here. It's called discipline. And what discipline means is it's connected to the idea of behaviour. So you might have some children in school, their behaviour isn't very good. They are very loud in class. They don't do their work. They don't come to school on time, and so their discipline is not very good. And so this is similar to the idea of behaviour. Right, so your job now, I want you in a moment, is to pause this video and just look for the approach verbs. Look for the approach verbs. So please grab a pen and paper and write down the approach verbs. Okay, well done. So these are the approach verbs I have got. So here we've got is, and discipline is, and an ever-increasing problem in modern schools. Think, well, they think that discipline should be the responsibility of the teachers. Think again, this is the role of the parents. Discuss both views, so the two thinks here, and give your opinion. So you've unpacked the essay question, you've now found the approach verbs. So now it is time to start planning. Now, you don't need to plan, in actual fact, in this area here, or your main plan, you'll be looking at these two things. So this is where you're going to be discussing both sides. So these two areas, think that discipline should be the responsibility of teachers, and think that this is the role of the parents. These two areas you're going to need to plan for.
So now you're ready to plan. You've got to come up with your own ideas. And once you've got those ideas, then you're going to start taking notes, note-taking. What is note-taking? say, compared to writing? Well, note-taking is a lot quicker. Writing takes a lot longer. You've got to write full sentences with good grammar, punctuation. It takes too long. You don't have enough time to do that. With note-taking, you're looking at taking your main ideas, taking the main points from your ideas, and using things like abbreviations. Abbreviation is making words shorter. Also, you've got things like symbols. Symbols are like signs, images or pictures sometimes, in order to communicate your ideas. So that is what you've got to work on, is your note-taking. And that's what we're going to start practicing next.
Okay, so now what you're going to do is do some practice. You're going to have some words, as you can see on the list down here. Money, equals, is more than. These are words. And what you have to do is to change them into symbols. What you'll do is you'll pause the video and write the symbols near to the words. So, for example, you've got the first one up at the top here. It says equals. So what you're going to do is find a symbol for equals. For example, as you can see, I have equals here, and obviously the symbol for equals looks like that. So, what you'll do now is pause the video, grab a pen and paper and make those symbols. So please pause the video now. Okay, well done. So now you've changed those words into symbols. So just bear in mind that symbols, you can do symbols in your own way, in your own style. You don't have to use the symbols here. Most important thing is that you remember which symbol means which words. So what you can do is pause this video and check the answers to the words, to the symbols. Okay, so now you're going to practice abbreviating. So that's what I explained earlier. That is to make usually longer words, make them shorter. So one technique is to just use the first few letters. So for example, we've got POL, P-O-L, for politics, and just deleted the last letters, just got the first three letters, P-O-L. So you're going to, in a moment, pause the video and do the same for these words here. Then you've got the first few letters plus the last letter. So here you've got the first few letters, gov for government, and then the last T there is got, so govt. Reducing the grammar, that's a good way of abbreviating as well. Arrested, so taking the ED out, you've got just arrest. So I'd like you to do that for the rest. Omitting vowels. Omitting means taking away or deleting. So for example, you've got the word problem. There's a vowel of O and a vowel of E. So you've just got PRBLM. So omitting the vowels, I'd like you to practice that. Lastly, abbreviate ing. So it's basically omitting or deleting the ing. So here we've got checking and then just CHCK. And actual fact, they've also omitted the vowel as well. So that's for checking. So I'd like you to do the rest for that. So if you pause the video, pause the video and grab a pen and paper and write your abbreviated words now. So well done, you've abbreviated those words, made them a little bit shorter. So here are the answers that I have. Hopefully you have the same or almost the same. Gov, obviously for government, sub for subject, info for information, intro for introduction, imp for important. First few letters plus last letter, well, international, INT for the int, and then the last L there is international there. omitting the vowels. So what you have is problem, so taking the O, taking the E out, and you've got it here. School, taking the 2 vowels out, so you have the answer here, and taking the vowels out of background, A, O, and U, so you've got the abbreviated word here. Abbreviating the ING here. Smoking, so taking the O out there and taking the vowel out there, and obviously the ING, so you've got SMK. Studying, your STDY there. Reducing the grammar. So, communication, well, I've got com here. You could have communicate, but that's still too long, and so it's been shortened even more. Potentially, you could even take out the vowel and just have CMM. Tempted, you've got tempt there. So, hopefully, you've got most of those near to what I have, and that should help you improve your abbreviation skills and mainly help you advance your note-taking skills. So I believe that's going to be very useful for when you start planning your IELTS IELTS essay.
Excellent, well done. You started practicing abbreviations and symbols. So now you can start using those note-taking skills and start planning for that essay.
So this is where your approach verbs will help you when planning. And as said previously, you only need to plan for the main body. So the main body are the 2 thinks here, the 2 thinks, the 2 approach verbs of think. You don't need to do it for here, and not really for here and here. So think, think means that discipline should be the responsibility of the teachers, so responsibility of the teachers. Think here that this role is for the parents, so discipline should be the role of the parents. Those are the 2 thinks, the 2 parts of the main body, and these 2 are the areas that you need to start planning. Yeah, so grab a pen and paper, draw a line down the middle of the page here, and then have a look at your approach verbs. Think that discipline, first one, think that discipline should be the responsibility of the teachers. So I'm going to write here down teach. So that is one of the main bodies is for the teachers. Let's go on to the next one, PRNTS. So that means parents. I've abbreviated the word parents. So that's another part of the main body. So in a moment, I want you to pause this video and start planning your ideas, start using those abbreviations and symbols. And afterwards, I will show you my ideas. So please pause the video now. So let's think of ideas now for the responsibility of the teachers, 9 till 3. So in the UK, the teachers look after the children from 9 to 3, Monday to Friday. So that's a strong reason why they should be implementing discipline to the children in the schools. Learn. So again, a responsibility of the teachers is to teach the children, the children to learn, to learning, so that they require discipline and good behaviour when they're learning. So that's another good reason. All right, next idea. Let's got here role model. So what that means is that if someone's a role model to somebody else, that means that person looks at that person and respects that person, and often children respect their teachers, and therefore the teachers are a role model, and so it's an important reason to for them to discipline the children. So let's move on to the next main body. And what I've got here is birth to ADLT. Birth means ADLT means adult. Adult is abbreviation, so birth to adulthood. So parents look after the children from birth to adulthood, so that's why it's important for them to be in charge of their discipline. For another idea, let's have a look here. So CPY. CPY means copy. What does that mean? So the children often copy their parents' behaviour, so that's a strong reason for why they should be in charge of their discipline. Right, let's think of my final idea. So what I've got here, there we go, almost there. LGL means legal, so that means the law. RPN L is an abbreviation for responsibility. So that's legal responsibility. So that means by law, the parents have a responsibility. They must ensure that their children are looked after well. Otherwise, if they don't, they can get in trouble with the law, go to prison or whatever. So that's an important reason why they should be in charge of their discipline. So these are some of my ideas. You may have some different ideas. And what I can say is with lots of practice makes perfect. This can take anywhere up to about 3 minutes to plan your ideas.
So well done. You've taken some good notes and you started planning. So what next? Next, you've got to start structuring. Planning and structuring, well, they're very similar. They're very much linked together. So keep going.
Okay, let's start looking at the structure of the essay. First, you need to look at the approach verbs, find the approach verbs, and that will give you a good idea as to what the structure will be like. You don't need to plan for the structure, you just need to be aware of the structure. So like I said, the approach verbs help. So let's have a look at the first approach verb, is. Discipline is an ever-increasing problem in schools. Well, that part there, that forms part of the introduction. That is also known, I'm going to put that in brackets here, as the background information. Okay. There you go. So that forms part of the introduction. In actual fact, I've called it the intro, short abbreviation for introduction. So that's the introduction. This here, you will need to paraphrase that, so reword it in your own words. Your background information, I'm going to suggest you have one or two sentences, not too much. Then what you'll have here is the final sentence, which is also known as the thesis sentence. That's an important sentence, and that should be one sentence. So you're looking about 3 sentences, or 2 or 3 sentences for your introduction. So the thesis statement is basically you're telling the reader, for this particular essay, you're telling the reader of your opinion. What's your opinion? So in this essay, I will argue that the role of the parent is the most important factor for disciplining children, for example, as an example. So that is your thesis statement, your position, and what your opinion is. Now let's move on to this 2-part here. This is, as I said, the main body. So we'll first look at this thing here. So here we'll put on here main body. We can call it main body number 1. Just bold that. Bold, underline, put that in the middle. That's the main body 1. So here, I'll just copy and paste this first here. This is about that you think it's the teacher's responsibility to discipline school children here. So that is body 1 there. So that paragraph is for that. So next one obviously is going to be body 2. Change that to 2. Body 2, and that's obviously missing a T there. That is obviously this one here. The second thing, they think the discipline for the children is the role of the parents. So just copy that there. That had as body 2. So body 1 and body 2 are done there, and those are the 2 ones that we have already planned for. Finally is give your opinion there. Give your opinion. In actual fact, that can be used as the conclusion there. We'll put conclusion, and in the conclusion you give your opinion, and you give your opinion according to the ideas in your main body 1 and main body 2. So if I put that there, give your opinion there. So your opinion, like I said, according to the main body 1, main body 2. So the conclusion will be a review. Yeah, just as a guide, we'll have 4 to 5 sentences for the main body 1. Here we'll have 4 to 5 sentences for main body 2, and the conclusion, we'll call that it's a review. So what a review means is you're looking back, and like I said, you're looking back to main body 2 and main body 1, and obviously you're giving your opinion here. So review is a conclusion, and I would say something like three sentences, approximately 3 sentences for the conclusion. So that really, using the approach verbs, that is the structure, and yeah, it doesn't need planning, but it will need practicing when you look at essay titles.
Brilliant. You're starting to structure your essay. Excellent. So let's take a review of what you've done, okay? So first, you've looked at unpacking the essay question and approach verbs in the previous lesson. Then you start thinking about planning and note-taking, and also you start to look at the structure. Now, just remember that different essay titles require different structures, but you still go through the same process. You still unpack the essay questions, you still look at approaching verbs, you still use your note-taking skills, you still continue planning, and you still then look at that structure. Like I said, each question will require a different structure. So like I've said in the previous video, just go out on the Google, find some more essay questions, and start using the same process of what we've taught today.
And if you enjoyed my lesson, please hit that like and subscribe button, and also wait for my next lesson, which will be on how to make an introduction. Anyway, take care guys, see you soon, bye.